Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun attend an award show together, and not just any award show, but the one that every fan, every reporter, and every critic has been waiting for in 2025. The spotlight was blinding, the red carpet was buzzing, and in the middle of it all stood the couple that fans had been rooting for since the very beginning. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, side by side, hand in hand, walking into the award ceremony like it was their world, and everyone else was simply invited. The cameras couldn't click fast enough. Flashes lit up every angle of their arrival, but the magic was not in the lights. It was in the way they looked at each other. A shared smile here, a soft whisper there, and an undeniable chemistry that no acting script could ever capture. Fans were glued to the live stream. Social media exploded with comments. "Is this real life?" One fan wrote. Another simply said, "They're glowing." It wasn't just their stunning outfits that caught attention. Although Kim Go-eun looked breathtaking in an elegant, flowing gown, and Lee Min-ho looked impossibly sharp in his tailored suit. It was the way they walked, with comfort, with pride, like two people who had crossed storms together, and were finally walking into the light. As the evening unfolded, award after award was announced, but the moment fans were waiting for finally arrived. The host's voice echoed through the grand hall, and the Best Couple Award 2025 goes to, a pause, a drum roll, and then, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun. The crowd erupted. Cheers shook the room. Fans online went wild. And for a moment, time stood still. Lee Min-ho reached for Kim Go-eun's hand. She squeezed his fingers, and together they walked up to the stage. Every step was history in the making. The applause didn't die down. It only grew louder, as if the audience themselves were confessing, "Yes, we believe in you. Yes, we see your love." When they reached the podium, Lee Min-ho adjusted the microphone. He looked at Kim Go-eun, and then at the crowd. His voice was steady, but his eyes betrayed warmth. "This award means more than just recognition of our work. It means that the story we told, a story of love, trust, and connection, reached your hearts. And for that, we're deeply grateful." The audience applauded again. Then, Kim Go-eun stepped closer. Her voice was soft but clear, the kind that drew people in. "We've always said that acting is about truth. And the truth is, every scene we shared on screen was filled with sincerity. Not just as actors, but as two people who believed in the emotions we were portraying." Her words sent shivers down spines, because everyone knew she wasn't just talking about the drama. She was talking about something deeper, something real. The host handed them the trophy. Together they held it up, their smiles brighter than any spotlight. It wasn't just an award. It was a symbol, a declaration, a moment that fans had been waiting for, dreaming of, manifesting for years. Backstage, the cameras kept rolling. Lee Min-ho was seen gently fixing Kim Go-eun's dress. She laughed softly, resting her hand briefly on his shoulder. And though it was just a small gesture, it was enough to set social media on fire. "Did you see that? He's so attentive. They look like a married couple already." Clips spread across platforms within minutes. Fans made edits. Headlines appeared instantly. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun win big, and win hearts again. But perhaps the most touching moment came after the official interviews were done. A fan-captured video surfaced online. It showed Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun standing quietly in a corner, away from the press, sharing a private laugh. He leaned in to whisper something. She covered her mouth, trying not to burst out laughing too loudly. That moment, unscripted, unplanned, purely theirs, was what made fans lose their minds. Because awards could be given, outfits could be praised, but love, real love, could never be staged. And that's what people saw. That's what people believed. For years, fans had speculated about them. For years, they had looked for hints. An Instagram like, a matching outfit, a glance too long to be just acting. But now, this award show felt like a confirmation. Not in words, but in presence. Not in statements, but in the way they stood together. Some fans called it a soft launch. Others said, "It's already official." Whatever the label, one truth was clear. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun were no longer just co-stars. They were partners, in work, in life, and in something deeper than either of them had ever publicly admitted. As the night came to a close, photos of them holding the award together flooded timelines. Editorials praised their chemistry. Commentators said, "This is what the industry has been missing. A couple who reminds us what love looks like, both on screen and off." And fans? They went to sleep with full hearts. Some cried happy tears. Others stayed awake, replaying the moment again and again. Because it wasn't just about the trophy. It was about hope. It was about watching two people grow. From strangers to colleagues. From colleagues to friends. From friends to something unspoken but undeniable. It was about witnessing a love story unfold. Not in a drama script, but in real life. The 2025 Best Couple Award belonged to Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun. But in truth, the real winners were the fans, who had been part of this journey, who had believed in them, who had never stopped hoping. And as the curtains closed on the award show, one thought echoed in every heart: this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. Because sometimes, the best love stories aren't written on paper. They're lived. And Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, they're living proof. The crowd's applause still hadn't quieted down as the camera panned across the venue. Glittering chandeliers reflected the dazzling lights of the stage, but all eyes remained locked on one pair, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun. There was something almost cinematic about the way they walked together, hand in hand, toward the podium. It was as if the night itself had been waiting for this exact moment. And when they stood under the golden spotlight, the applause roared back to life, louder, more heartfelt, more emotional. For years, fans had wondered if they would ever get to see a moment like this. Not just two co-stars sharing the stage, but two people whose bond had clearly grown beyond scripted lines. Kim Go-eun adjusted the microphone first, her voice soft yet steady. She thanked the award organizers, the staff, the fans, and, finally, she glanced sideways at Lee Min-ho with a smile that carried more meaning than any speech could. Lee Min-ho then stepped forward, his usual charisma amplified by the sincerity in his tone. He spoke of teamwork, of trust, and of how acting wasn't just about delivering lines, it was about finding connection. And then, with perfect timing, he said, "This award is not just about us being a couple on screen. It's about us being able to bring truth to that love. And I couldn't have done that without her, without Go-eun."